C equals 179 times 1.029 to the power of t, where C is the amount of soda consumed in liters and t is the number of years since 2000. How much soda was consumed in 2005? So this problem is an exponential growth problem. And the reason we know, without even doing anything yet, that it's growth is by looking at the value of b. If you'll recall, exponential functions are in the form y equals a times b to the power of x. And what we've learned so far is that if b is greater than 1, it's exponential growth. And in this problem, our b is 1.029, which is bigger than 1, so it's growth. A in this problem is 179. What does that mean? What does 179 mean? Let's see if we can figure it out. Let's start by putting this function into our calculator. 179 times 1.029 to the power of t. So I'm going to go to my calculator and I'm going to put in 179 and then parentheses 1.029 raised to the power of, and of course calculators don't have t, we just use our variable button, so we'll do x there. So there it is. And I'm going to go ahead and look at the table. So I'm going to do second graph and look at the table. And right there, right at the beginning, I see that point 0, 179. That's the y-intercept. And I know that the x value represents years since 2000. So 0 years since 2000 would be the year 2000. So this is telling me my graph has the point 0, 179 on it. So what this means, if my A is 179, 0, 179 is the y-intercept, and it means there were 179 liters consumed in the year 2000. That is true of all exponential functions. A is the y-intercept for all exponential functions. So you don't even really need to graph intercepted derp. You don't even really need to graph them to know what the y-intercept is. It's whatever a is. A is the y-intercept. And then b tells you if it's growth or decay, and the rate at which it's growing or decaying. 1.029 is just a tiny, tiny little bit higher than 1. So this is growth, but not growth by a lot. Now, answering the question we're asked is really simple. It says how much soda was consumed in 2005. If X is the years since 2000, then for 2005, X is going to equal 5. 5 years since 2000. And this is also something we can do very easily on the calculator. We do y equals 179, and then parentheses 1.029 to the power of 5. We can type it into the calculator just like this, or since we already put it into y equals in our calculator and created our table, let's just go to our table and see where x equals 5. And if we go down to 5 on our table, we can see it's 206.5. The table already does the calculation for us. So y equals 206.5 when x equals 5. So in 2005, approximately 206.5 liters of soda will be consumed. I didn't look this up, but this is like per person or per household, or that's per person. That's a lot of soda. 206 liters of soda. That's a bunch. But all of this can be found by putting this equation into the calculator. And if this is talking about an individual person, it looks like their rate of soda consumption is steadily increasing every year. They had 179 liters in 2000, and they went up by, it looks like 27.5 liters in the next 5 years. So their soda consumption's increasing not by a ton, but by a little bit every single year for those next 5 years because this is an exponential growth equation, which means it's going up little by little every single year.